What's going on, guys? Vital Syntax here, and I wanted to give you guys a tip video on playing Metro Last Light in what I think is probably the most enjoyable way and kind of how you can get the most out of the game, and also give you guys some tips on some things that I figured out along the way that weren't really intuitive right off the bat. So the first thing I want to suggest is playing on Ranger mode, which is one of the difficulty modes. Unfortunately, maybe not everybody's going to have access to it. I know that if you pre-ordered the game or if you have a limited edition copy of the game, you should be able to access Ranger mode. If not, maybe if you buy it later on down the road, you might have to buy it with DLC, which is unfortunate and kind of stupid because honestly, I think it's the way that the game is designed to be played. It essentially turns off the heads-up display. It increases your damage output, or I guess it more or less decreases the enemy's health and decreases your health as well. So you kill people faster, but you also die faster. And it also makes ammo much more scarce, and you're going to have to scavenge for items a lot more throughout the game. And it just makes the game feel a lot more enjoyable, at least in my experience. Now, I didn't play Last Light in the normal mode, but I did play 2033 in normal, and now that I've played Last Light on the Ranger mode, it's much more enjoyable, at least in my experience. And you kind of want to immerse yourself as much as you can in this world. Now, so far, this game hasn't really been amazing in a couple areas like voice acting and the story and the characters. I mean, they're not horrible, but the biggest awesome aspect of this game is the world and the amount of detail and the horror factor and the enemies. And to immerse yourself in that world the best, what I'd recommend doing is turning off all the lights and wherever you're playing at, and also wearing headphones and turning up the volume so you can get really kind of in the role of RTM while you're playing the game. I'd also recommend playing in a stealth type of role. I mean, if you look at the Ranger mode description, it actually suggests that you play in a stealth mode. And this should means like, you know, you making sure you're taking advantage of melee takedowns, sneaking up behind enemies and using your knife, using silencers, getting headshots, taking out people in one shot. You can also turn out some of the lights or blow out torches and stuff like that, or even turn off the power at a power switch so it turns all the lights out in a certain area. And also just sticking to the shadows because you're going to be a lot more effective that way, and you don't have to consume as much ammo, and it's going to be a lot easier to stay alive. If you try and run and gun in this game on Ranger mode, you are going to get destroyed. You die very quickly. It's like 3 or 4 bullets and you're dead. So if you're getting shot by more than one person from different angles and you don't have cover, you're going to be dead almost instantly. So you kind of want to sneak around the map, kind of figure out where people are, take them out in a set order that you think is most effective, and try and be as stealthy while you're doing it as possible. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is some of the key bindings. Now, I'm talking specifically about the PC platform, so if you're on the consoles, then I'm sorry, I don't know what the key bindings are for certain buttons on the controllers. But some of the things that I didn't really find intuitive, but later on figured out key bindings for, is the tab is going to access your inventory, and this is huge because you don't have a heads-up display on Ranger, so you can't see how much ammo you have, you can't see how many items you have for throwable items, you can't see how much filter you have left for the gas mask when you're on the surface. But if you press tab, you'll be able to see all your inventory items, and I'll also be able to switch between your throwable items. You'll be able to view how much time you have with the gas mask filters, and also keep in mind that on your watch on RDM's hand, that countdown timer, I think it's 4 minutes every time, that actually shows how much time is left in the filter that you're currently using. It'll beep once it gets to 1 minute, and that's just a reminder to change your filter. And that's something that I honestly didn't figure out until later on in the game, which is kind of weird because I don't remember that being in 2033, although I played that quite a while ago, so maybe I just forgot about it. But next thing that I mentioned is throwable items. By default, that's bound to C, and I had to look it up online because I couldn't figure it out. And it's not listed in the key bindings, at least that I could see. But this is, like throwing knives, which, by the way, are one-hit kill if you're stealthed. If you're not stealthed and the enemies, are aware of your location and stuff, it seems like they aren't a one-hit kill and they don't do nearly as much damage. Same with the knives. If you just knife somebody while they're looking at you or shooting at you, it doesn't really do much damage. But if you can get up behind them, even if you don't do the assassination takedown, if you just knife them, it'll still usually kill them in one hit. But you can also switch between throwing knives, grenades, fire grenades, which are really effective against certain enemies, claymores, which are also quite effective. And the next key binding is wiping your mask. This is something that actually somebody in the comments of one of my previous videos recommended, because I wasn't doing it in the video. I didn't even know you could. But if you actually tap G, this is a default key binding once again, you'll wipe your mask, wipe your gas mask. And if you hold G, you'll take it off. But if you just tap it, you'll be able to kind of clean it off if you get blood or water or muck splattered all over your screen. You don't have to keep it there. You can actually wipe it off, which is really cool. I love all the first-person animations they have designed in the game. And the last key binding I thought I would mention is M, which by default is going to be your lighter. And this is actually really useful to burn cobwebs, which I didn't know you could do until later on in the game when they actually mentioned something about it. And you can also use it as a flashlight replacement, because there's some areas in the game where the flashlight isn't available, and the only source of light you're going to have is that lighter. And you can actually light torches. There'll be torches that aren't lit around the map and around the game, and you can actually light those up so you can actually see a little bit better, because the game is very dark. And that's another thing, make sure you set the gamma properly. In my gameplay, it doesn't really look proper, but that's because, or it doesn't look very dark, that's because I changed the gamma on my monitor to adjust for it. But I would suggest turning the gamma way down so things are really, really dark, and things jump out at you and things like that. And then the last tip I wanted to give you guys in regards to boss fights, and this is something that I was thinking about because I actually just was, I haven't actually finished the game, but I'm getting very close, and I just went through one of the later boss fights. And one of the things I kind of figured out is that you don't always want to just shoot the enemy. Sometimes there's other things you have to do to kill the enemy or to escape. I'm not going to go into details to spoilers, you have to figure it out, but it's not always the best idea to just unload all your bullets and try and kill them as fast as possible. And if you are going to be shooting at them, make sure you're going for the headshots, or make sure you're going for weak spots, because a lot of the bosses have tons of armor, and you'll burn through all of your ammo, and he's still completely alive, and you won't have anything else to do, and you're kind of fucked. You have to reload your save or get killed or something like that. So, just conserve your ammo, only use it when you know you're going to be doing a lot of damage, because even if you have full ammo, some of these boss fights are really hard, unless you can find, ammo scattered around the map. That's always a good idea as well, just kind of look for ammo and other weapons while you're battling him, while you're battling bosses that you can pick up later. But anyway, that wraps up this tip video for Metro Last Light. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully it will help you enjoy the game a little bit more. It definitely helped me enjoy the game, because I kind of went through these things while I was playing the game. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to give me a like or a favorite, and I'll see you guys in the next one.